Religious conversion is often associated with something negative. It shouldn't be. Over 80% of the world's population has a religious faith, and many of the remaining 20% have taken a personal decision that they cannot embrace religious faith. The right to believe and the right not to believe are two of the pillars that make up Article 18 of the 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights. But there is a third pillar of Article 18. It's the inalienable right to change your belief. For the avoidance of doubt, these are the words in the Universal Declaration, which 192 countries, as different as India and Pakistan, the United Kingdom and France, have ratified. Article 18 states these words: everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. This right includes freedom to change his religion or belief. But religious freedom is also protected in Article 18 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, where it states that this right shall include freedom to adopt a religion or belief of his choice and freedom. The question then is, why do we have a negative association with religious conversion? What is the problem here? The problem is not with religious conversion itself, but with the way in which it can be coerced. Forced conversion is no conversion. Serving in both Houses of Parliament as a member of both the Commons and the Lords over 4 decades, I've seen innumerable examples of coercive conversion. I co-chair the all-party parliamentary group on Pakistan minorities and am vice-chair of the all-party parliamentary group on freedom of religion or belief. And I've heard first-hand accounts of minorities being forcibly converted, especially in Pakistan, where teenage girls are particularly susceptible to this practice. These young teenage girls, whether Christian or Hindu, imagine them to be your daughter or your young sister, are abducted, forcibly converted, and forcibly married to their abductor. I've personally spoken to some of the families whose girls have been stolen from them and have been heartbroken by some of the accounts which I've heard. As my Muslim friends tell me, this cannot be justified, either on the grounds of religion or indeed of humanity. In some of these cases, the families attempt to obtain justice through courts, but not all families will have the means to do this and to gain access or to face down the lynch mobs that often dominate the courtrooms. If the family does eventually get before a judge, a number of issues arise. Is the girl of marriageable age? Did she convert out of her own free will? In one of such cases, in one such instance, the case of Pumi Mushkan, a 14-year-old girl at the time, the Lahore High Court decided that as a 14-year-old girl, she lacked the legal capacity to convert. The Lahore High Court stated that Pumi Mushkan is barely 14. As she is not sui juris, she lacks legal capacity to change religion on her own. However, the question of faith being a matter of heart and a person's own conviction, well, no court can declare her conversion invalid or void. It can only refuse to recognize or give effect to it for certain legal purposes. The court ordered for Pumi to be returned to her family. However, once she returned home, she was then considered and categorized as a convert from Christianity to Islam, although baptized and brought up in a Christian home and with no desire to be anything other than Christian. And so her life was then threatened as an apostate, and she had to flee the country. Other cases pose even more challenges that are rarely addressed, and in Pakistan alone, we're talking about approximately 1,000 such cases of abductions and forced conversions and forced marriages each and every single year. It goes without saying that in all these cases, the girls, once forcibly married, will be removed from education. And without education, their future employment opportunities will be radically reduced or non-existent, and as such, they will be trapped forever in poverty. Until they find a new and safe home abroad, girls like Pumi, who manage to escape, will be left without education. Hopefully, in her case, she'll be able to resume her education, but in the process of finding a new home, girls like Pumi lose months and months, which they will never fully gain back. Lost months in education, lost opportunities. And it simply shouldn't be necessary for girls like her to leave their country, to leave their families, and to leave their homes. It reflects very badly on a country if it's unable to accommodate difference. We need to do much, much more to help these girls like Pumi, the girls who are forcibly abducted, forcibly converted, and forcibly married. And I hope that you will join that cause. Thank you for listening.